Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into a topic you all have been asking about, how to boost VO2 max for better cardiovascular health.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one.
We got some really fascinating research,
Oh, yeah.
including a dense meta-analysis.
Absolutely.
But don't worry, we're going to make it all crystal clear for you today.
We got this.
Are you ready to decode this stuff with us?
Let's do it.
Awesome. So,
VO2 Max.
VO2 max.
It's not just some random fitness number, right? It's actually increasingly recognized as a much more powerful predictor of mortality than some of the traditional risk factors that we always hear about.
Like what?
Even things like hypertension and diabetes.
That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it is.
So for those who need a quick refresher, what exactly is VO2 max?
VO2 max is basically how efficiently your body uses oxygen during intense exercise.
Got it.
So it really tells us how well your heart,
your
lungs, and your muscles are all working together.
So it's like a teamwork score.
It is a teamwork score.
For your body.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So that's why a higher VO2 max is so significant.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a sign of a robust cardiovascular system.
Right.
Which, like we're learning, is linked to a longer and healthier life.
Longer, healthier life. That's what we want.
That's the goal. All right, so you sent over this
meta-analysis?
Meta-analysis from Teesside University.
Big word.
I know.
But we're going to break it down.
At Boost, we don't do the research.
No, we don't.
We make it accessible.
We make it easy.
So this particular study looked at a huge pool of research, 804 studies to be exact.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Wow.
Before honing in on 28 that fit their criteria.
Right.
And these studies focused on healthy, inactive men and women.
Between 18 and 45 years old.
Okay, interesting. They specifically excluded people who were overweight or obese?
Yeah, they did that on purpose.
Why is that?
Well, they wanted to make sure that the VO2 max results were really reflecting the impact of the exercise and not potentially skewed by weight.
That makes sense.
It does.
Okay, so the big question, what's better for boosting VO2 max? High-intensity interval training or traditional endurance training?
High-intensity interval training. What is that? It's HIT?
HIT, yes. We like to call it HIT. Gotcha. What did they find?
Well, they found that both HIT and endurance training led to significant improvements in VO2 max. Compared to just sitting on the couch.
So that's good news for anyone who's been kind of putting off.
Yeah, get off the couch.
Getting active.
Yes.
But is one type of training actually better?
Yeah. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
So for this age group, the meta-analysis found that HIT was more effective.
Whoa, hold on. HIT for the win.
HIT for the win.
Okay, at least for now.
So for now.
I'm feeling more energized already just hearing about HIT.
Yeah, me too. I'm ready to go.
But what does this mean for our listeners?
It means that regardless of your current fitness level, you can make a real difference in your cardiovascular health.
Got it.
And potentially increase your lifespan.
So,
pretty big deal.
Whether you choose HIT or endurance training, you're on the right track.
You are.
But
there are some nuances.
Ooh, nuances.
We got to consider.
Should we all be sprinting up hills and doing burpees right now? What's the deal?
Hold on.
Okay.
While HIT can be incredibly time efficient, those short bursts of intense activity can be really demanding.
Yeah, they're tough.
And they might not be suitable for everyone.
Right.
Especially if someone has underlying health conditions.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really important to know your limits.
That's a good point.
It is.
So endurance training, on the other hand, is more about steady state exercise, like a nice long run or a bike ride.
Exactly.
It's generally less intense.
Yes.
And accessible for a wider range of people.
Much more accessible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So endurance training might require a bit more time.
It might.
But it can be incredibly enjoyable.
Right.
Think about a long hike in nature.
Oh, yeah.
That's endurance training, and a lot of people find that incredibly rewarding.
Absolutely.
Okay, so both HIT and endurance training have their pros and cons.
They do.
I'm sensing a theme here.
What's that?
No one-size-fits-all solution.
Exactly. It's all about finding what works best for each individual.
What works for you might not work for me.
Exactly, and vice versa.
That's right.
Yeah. And that's what we really try to do at Boost, is you focus on what you want to learn about.
Yeah.
And we help you understand it.
Make it simple.
Clearly and simply.
I love that.
So
it's like having a personal research assistant, except way more fun.
More fun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But, okay, let's dig deeper into those specifics from the Teesside meta-analysis. What else stood out to you?
One thing that really jumped out at me was the time frame of the studies they included. All the research they analyzed was from 2014 or earlier.
Whoa, 2014. That's like ancient history in the fitness world.
It is.
Think about how much fitness trends have changed since then.
Oh, my gosh.
We have all these new variations of HIIT, new endurance training protocols.
Totally.
And even research on, like, combining approaches.
Combining approaches.
Yeah.
That's right. So while this meta-analysis is a valuable starting point,
Yeah.
we should really view it as a foundation rather than, like, the final word.
Got it.
Because there's been an explosion of research since 2014.
I mean, it makes sense. But,
Yeah.
So it's like having a vintage map.
Yes.
Okay.
It can guide you in the right direction.
Yeah.
But you might need a GPS.
To get the most up-to-date route.
For the most up-to-date route.
I love that analogy.
Thank you.
Okay, so vintage map in hand.
Yes.
What else should our listeners keep in mind about this meta-analysis?
Well, remember, they focused on a specific demographic.
Okay.
Healthy, inactive adults aged 18 to 45.
Got it.
So if you're outside of that age range,
Okay.
or if you're already pretty active,
Yeah.
these findings might not apply to you directly.
Interesting.
Yeah, for example, older adults may respond differently
Okay.
to high-intensity training,
Right.
and highly trained athletes might need even more tailored approaches
To boost their VO2 max.
to boost their VO2 max.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is where things get really interesting, right?
it does.
Because it's not just about HIIT versus endurance training.
Right,
It's about understanding your individual needs
exactly.
and finding what works best for you.
Absolutely, and that's where things can feel overwhelming,
Yeah.
sorting through all that information.
A lot.
It is a lot, but that's where Boost comes in.
Exactly. We sift through all the complexities for you.
That's what we do.
So you don't have to...
You got it.
So what's the key takeaway here?
Regardless of age or fitness level,
Regardless of age or fitness level.
the key takeaway is that you can improve your VO2 max
Okay.
and experience those amazing cardiovascular benefits.
We like those.
We do like those. It's about finding that approach
Yeah.
that aligns with your specific circumstances and preferences.
Totally.
Maybe you're someone who thrives on the challenge and efficiency of HIIT,
Okay.
or maybe you prefer the more sustained rhythmic flow of endurance training.
Or maybe,
Hugh,
just maybe,
tell me.
the magic formula is like a combination of both.
Ooh,
I'm getting excited thinking about all the
I
possibilities.
know, me too.
And, I love how HIIT can be so time efficient.
Yes.
Sometimes I can only squeeze in like a 20-minute workout.
Yeah.
And knowing that I can get a super effective HIIT session in that time is a game changer.
It is a game changer.
Cheers.
That's a great point. HIIT's all about maximizing your effort in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And with endurance training, there's something so satisfying about those longer, steady efforts.
Totally.
Imagine a beautiful hike where you're pushing yourself physically,
Yeah.
but also enjoying the scenery and fresh air.
Oh, it's the best.
That's a win-win.
It is a win-win.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. It's about finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
where you're challenging yourself but also enjoying the process.
Absolutely.
But how do you actually, put these training methods into practice?
Right.
Where do you even begin?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
I think that's a great place to shift our focus.
Okay.
Let's move beyond the theory and get into the practicalities
Yes.
of designing a workout plan.
Ooh.
Let's get into those nitty-gritty details.
I'm all about actionable steps.
Actionable steps.
This is where the rubber meets the road.
Exactly.
Before we get into that,
Yeah.
I do want to remind our listener that if they are loving this deep dive
Yeah.
and want more insightful and digestible breakdowns like this,
Mm-hmm.
delivered straight to their inbox every week,
Every week.
they should definitely sign up for our free newsletter.
Yes, you should. It's a great way to stay on top of the latest health and fitness research.
Without having to wade through all the technical jargon.
No jargon here.
No jargon allowed.
But no,
Okay, let's jump into those practical tips and get our listeners moving.
let's do it.
Okay, so we've talked about the science behind VO2 Max.
We have.
We talked about high-intensity interval training and endurance training.
Mm-hmm.
But now, how do you actually put these training methods into practice?
Right. So first things first, disclaimer.
Okay.
We are not giving medical advice here.
Of course.
It's always crucial to consult your doctor before starting any new workout routine.
Right.
Especially if you have any underlying health conditions.
Safety first.
Safety first, always.
Absolutely. But assuming you've got the green light, let's start with HIIT, since it seems to be what piqued your interest.
Okay, so the basic principle of HIIT is pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Short bursts of intense effort,
Okay.
followed by brief periods of recovery.
Got it.
You're essentially going all out for a short period and then giving your body a chance to, catch its breath.
Okay. I'm a visual learner.
Okay?
Paint me a picture.
Okay.
What would an actual HIIT workout look like?
Okay, so imagine this.
Okay.
You sprint as hard as you can for 30 seconds.
Okay.
Then walk for a minute to recover.
Okay.
You repeat that cycle 8 to 10 times.
Okay.
And
you got yourself a workout.
You got yourself a super effective HIIT workout.
See, that doesn't sound too intimidating.
Not too bad.
And the best part is you can apply that principle to like almost any activity.
Exactly. Running, cycling, swimming, even body weight exercises like burpees or jumping jacks.
I was going to say burpees.
It's all about incorporating those intense intervals.
Okay, so for endurance training, it's more about going the distance.
Right. Steady and consistent effort over a longer period.
Got it.
So think of activities like jogging, swimming, or cycling at a moderate pace that you can sustain for at least 30 minutes.
Sustain.
The key word here is sustain.
Okay.
You're not trying to break any speed records.
No sprinting marathons.
No sprinting marathons. It's about finding a pace you can comfortably maintain.
It seems like both HIIT and endurance training can be incredibly versatile.
They are.
You can adapt them to your fitness level, your preferences, even like your environment. You don't necessarily need a fancy gym or expensive equipment to get a great workout.
Absolutely.
That's one of the things that makes this knowledge so empowering.
It does.
You have the tools to take control of your health no matter your circumstances.
Right. And remember, at Boost, we're all about making this kind of information accessible and digestible.
Yeah, we sit through all the complexities of the research, so you don't have to...
Exactly.
We like to think of ourselves as your personal guides to the world of health and fitness information.
Your guides.
And if you enjoy this deep dive and want more insights like this delivered straight to your inbox every week, be sure to sign up for our free newsletter.
It's packed with evidence-based tips, myth-busting, and actionable advice to help you optimize your well-being.
Love it.
But for now, let's wrap up our deep dive on VO2 Max with a final thought-provoking question.
Ooh, I like this.
We've established that both HIIT and endurance training have their unique advantages.
Yeah.
But could there be an even better way to boost VO2 Max?
Ooh, are you suggesting a hybrid approach?
Maybe.
Maybe a personalized plan that combines elements of both HIIT and endurance training?
Attention.
Tailored to individual needs and responses?
That's precisely what I'm getting at.
I love it.
The world of fitness is constantly evolving.
It is.
And there's always more to discover.
Always more to learn.
Always. So what if the ultimate VO2 Max booster isn't one or the other, but a dynamic blend that evolves as you do?
Oh, that's such a fascinating idea.
I know.
It's about finding what works best for you.
For you.
And that might change over time.
It might.
Maybe you start with primarily endurance training and then incorporate more HIIT as you get fitter.
Right.
Or perhaps you find that a balanced approach works best from the get-go.
It's all about finding what works for you.
The key is to experiment, listen to your body,
Yes.
and never stop learning.
And remember, you don't have to navigate this journey alone.
That's right.
We're here to support you every step of the way, providing you with the knowledge and tools you need to thrive.
That's what we're here for, so keep exploring, keep challenging yourself, and keep listening to your body.
Until next time.
Happy training.